Hello, hello, my beautiful, beautiful soul tribe. Welcome back to Tarot Talk Live. My name is Catherine, and we are about to get into this next episode of Conspiracy Theory. But before we do that, I wanted to welcome everybody who is new to the channel. I want to tell you all thank you so much for all of your likes, and your subscribing to the channel means the world to me. And please make sure, if you are subscribed, that you have your notifications turned on so that you can be notified when all of the readings are posting. And please do help and hit that like button. It does really help and affect the algorithms and how my videos are uploaded to the YouTube streets. Okay, so thank you, and I appreciate you guys. Next bit of housekeeping, I want to make sure that you guys have an invite to my main channel, Queen Cancer Tarot, where I do have membership options available there. I also do lots of giveaways on that channel. We are trying to unlock the giveaways on this channel, but we need to reach our goal of 100 subscribers. So please help us get to that goal. We are almost there. All right, so hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also, you can go ahead and get your entries in now. Get them in early, because as soon as we hit 100 subscribers, I will be doing the drawings every single month for a free 3-question personal reading with me. So I will be choosing 3 winners every month, but we have to get to 100 subscribers, okay, before I can dedicate my time and energy, okay? But I cannot wait to do that for you guys. I'm excited. I love giveaways. I love sharing my gift, all of that good stuff. But if you don't want to wait to win, and you guys do resonate with any energy or anything that you feel you want to know about, or if you want to ask some questions, please go to my website and feel free to book a reading with me. All right, let's get started with the reading. The link to the website, the link to all of my channels, everything is all in the description box below. All right, so we've got handy dandy notebooks today, guys. All right, so let's get going. So we've already taken a look into what, who, where, and yesterday we took a deep dive look into the why. And yes, you guys, I do have a bandage on. I had surgery on yesterday. So those of you who are wondering, I did have surgery yesterday. And everything went well. Everything went well. The swelling has gone down immensely since yesterday, y'all, if you can see, but it's still pretty swollen and still very, very sore. I'm able to move my fingers a little bit more. And the feeling is coming back. Okay. So that's a good thing. The feeling is mostly back around this part of my finger. I still can't really feel anything where the surgery took place. Okay, on my hand, I cannot feel that part of it. Thank God. But yeah, that's still pretty numb. It's kind of itchy a little bit. So I know that that feeling is trying to come back. That's what that itchiness is, which sucks for me because like scratching it is not even possible with this bandage on. So I just kind of like have to rub the bandage. It's just ridiculous. So y'all, that's the most of my problems. I think I'm doing okay. But yeah, I can't lift anything. If I try to hold, like my coffee cup is even too heavy. So I can't hold my coffee cup with anything right now because it's so numb. But I can tell that the weight of anything is going to be a beast if I do anything too soon. So I was like, how come I can't hold anything? You know, why is it, but Now I see why. So I feel fine. I'm a bit nauseated from all the medication that I've been taking. So I'm working on that, but there's nothing I can really do other than, I guess, eat crackers and drink ginger ale and peppermint tea or something. I don't know. But if y'all have any suggestions for nausea, let me know other than popping Tums like it's popcorn, you know. So, and I don't want to keep having to do that. But anywho, that is a blessing if that's all that I have to complain about. Okay. Which it's not. I could probably go on and on, but I won't. So I'm still blessed. How you like me now? Still blessed. Right? So that was awful. Okay, so let's go. So what we're going to do, what I also have is I have some bonus questions that I've written up here, you guys. So if we have time at the end, I will go to the bonus questions, okay? However, we are going to work on the when questions, okay? So yesterday we did the what, and so now today is May 13th. Of the Nancy Guthrie case, and it is day 102, 102, 102. Just call a spade a spade. It's very frustrating that we're saying this, but we are. So, okay, so when? Okay, when? So the first question, so I want to look at two different aspects. I want to look at those who planned, the overseers, the big kahunas, because I still feel that there were planners and there were doers. There were planners, there were people that were behind the scenes, and there were people that were actual manifestors, or I don't want to call them that, we'll call them manipulators, that actually went in and made things happen. Okay. So for the first part of this question, I want to know, when did those who planned this crime decide to do it? So when did they make their initial or whatever? When did they come up with the plan? When did the planners come up with the plan to commit this crime? When did those who planned this crime come up with, or decide to do it? Come up with their decision. When did they make their decision? There we go. We have to be very specific the way we ask these questions, okay? So when did those who planned this crime make their decision? All right. Next, we want to ask, when did those who committed or actually did the crime make their decision, whether they came up with some sort of a plan and something presented itself, or whether they were approached cold turkey and made their decision. However it happened, when. Next question. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a more difficult question. So the way we ask it, we're going to be very sensitive. Okay. When slash if Nancy what's the word? Lost her connection. When slash if Nancy lost her connection to this side or realm, you know what I'm trying to say, to this side, yeah, when, if Nancy lost her connection to this side, did she actually transition? I want to know this because there's just been so much back and forth about whether or not she, was still with us when she crossed that threshold, which I don't think that she was. If she was not going to be much longer afterwards, is what I'm getting. If anything, it either happened in the vehicle or on the way to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is my belief from what I saw, but that's what I want to know. Okay, next. Okay. Now, back to this whole dinner party, okay? Because it was a dinner party, okay? She's going to eat dinner, which is interesting. Why when we did the sense of taste reading, food came into play, or not food. Yes, it was like more so communication, and it was very interesting. Let's just say it was very interesting. Now, with that being said, this whole mystery about an Uber driver and another mystery, which I don't know if they questioned the Uber driver. I'm sure they did, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to know, when did Nancy, or when did the Uber driver get Nancy? I just want to know what the energy of the cards say about that. When did the Uber driver pick Nancy up? To go to A and T's house. Okay. And then lastly, It's a two-part question, but we'll ask it together and see what the cards say. When will Nancy be found? And when will case be solved? So basically, when will we get some news as well? When will we get news? When will Nancy be found? When will the case be solved? So let's get to it. We've got some great questions here, I think. Let's get to it. We're going to look at the collective oracle box here, and I'm going to give it a good shuffle. We're just going to see what the cards have to say, and we will take it how it resonates, okay? And we will leave whatever does not, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. If it does not resonate or seem to resonate with this energy, then we will leave it, and we won't. Well, we can clarify, okay? There's the beauty in that. We'll look at the tarot messages to clarify things. So, first question, when did those who planned this crime make that decision? When did the planners make their decision? Oh, one fell out and bumped his head. Ooh, you guys. Spies and lies. So this tells me that this was a premeditated operation to the extent I feel when the moment that this person had to start coming up with the defense. Do you see what I'm saying? When this person started coming up with the defense to the allegations that were made towards them, because there's an energy of they were coming and saying that someone was lying on them, something about a lie. And because of this, they began spying on Nancy or spying on Savannah, leading to Nancy. Spies and lies. So from the moment this person had to create some sort of a false defense or to cover up some sort of lie, that is when the planning began. That's what I'm getting here. Let's pull one more from here and then we'll look at a different deck. We'll go quick today. Okay, so we have grateful coming through. Thanksgiving of the previous year. I'm saying this only because I believe there were Google searches that occurred around in December, if I'm not mistaken, about Nancy. What else do we have here? One more. HE double hockey sticks. NO. So, you know, this is just giving me an energy of somebody is like, you know what, I'll be, if that's going to happen. You know what I mean? I'm hearing somebody say, hell no. You know, This person was inflamed. So this happened from the moment this situation occurred. From the moment this person felt the anger is when this all began. Okay? So let's look at a different deck to see what we get here. When did those who planned the crime make their decision? So I have a few here. Feeling like ish in the reverse. Okay, we have to cover that one up. Well, we got memories in the reverse. This happened, like I said, there was no thought about this. This is not an energy of somebody taking the time to think things through. No, the moment this happened, they instantly had to settle the score. This is what I'm getting. They planned this from the moment they got word that this information came out, I believe, with the interview that Savannah did on the Tomorrow Show regarding the island situation. We have happily single in the reverse. Happily single in the reverse just means somebody partnering up, somebody who is in a relationship, okay? Someone who is committed to doing something. Committed. If you are not single, you are in a commitment. This talks about these people committing to this from the moment it all went down. And that made them feel better with feeling like ish in the reverse. They did this as a way to satisfy their anger, their narcissism, whatever it was they were dealing with. And we all can only imagine what that must have been like. Okay. Under the deck, closing the cycle. Closing this cycle. My hands are starting to tell me that I need to be mindful. So trust me, I'm not going to do anything to hurt myself, okay, or strain my hand in any way. So I'm not shuffling like I used to shuffle or like I usually do, you guys. It is a very much what should I say, much more conservative form of shuffling the cards than I usually do. So I'm being safe. All right, so let's go ahead and look now at the tarot message before we move on to the next question, which is going to pertain to those who actually did this crime. We want to know when they made their decision, right? So let's look at the tarot messages to clarify this though. Spies and lies, HE, double hockey sticks, no, and grateful. Memories in the reverse, happily single in the reverse, feeling like ish, and closing a cycle. I'm not taking all of those. All right. So, see, I'm definitely not going to be taking all of those. Sorry, guys. I just have to expect that's going to happen. Here's what we're going to do. Span the cards out. That way I don't have to hold them. And yeah, I don't have to worry about dropping them. All right, so we have it fanned out. So let's see if you can see that a little better. So we're just going to pull from the deck here, okay? Can you see that okay? Okay. All right, so let's see what we get here. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is a slow moving energy. Okay, so when it comes to this person has taken their time, right? They've had a lot of time to plan this, which is giving since the beginning, right? There's just an energy of this person is not moving fast. It's almost like that saying, revenge is best served cold. Okay. And all that means is that if you try to get your lick back immediately after someone does something to you, it's only going to be very obvious that you're the one who did it, right? And so, and also, this person is going to be more on guard, right? Looking over their shoulder. So there's a less likelihood that you'll, you know, get your revenge however it is you're planning. So, not that you should be planning to get revenge on anybody. I'm just saying if someone were to plan to get revenge on anyone, their best opportunity to do it would be when this person is long forgotten about the offense, right? Or the initial situation. So they're not expecting it to come or be served. They're going to be surprised by it when it happens. They're going to be off guard and, yeah, less likely to retaliate, basically. I'm just saying. So this person didn't mind taking their time with it. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this could be an energy of the month of May, the month of August, perhaps, or even September, or even the month of December. Moving into January. So there you go. We have the Four of Wands. So this is an energy of committed. I told you this. We said that with this grateful card and also with this happily single in the reverse. Didn't I tell you that? If you're not happily single, you're committed. That Four of Wands represents a commitment. And this commitment is one that is being served up cold because this person is taking their time about going to Nancy's house. You see that house and that pathway leading up to that house? This person is taking their time. Do you see what I mean? Because they don't want things to lead back to them. See what I mean? They don't want to be good for it, right? They don't want to be the first one that you suspect. Okay. Eight of Cups here. This is all about someone who is basically abandoning a situation that has become overwhelming. Okay. Or an energy of walking away from something or being able to walk away from a situation. So again, this person is thinking about getting away with it. They're thinking about not getting caught, right? Which is, I feel like, the reason behind it all. So let's see what's under the deck. What is under the deck? Yep, look at this. I told you. Once again, we have Lovers. This represents some sort of a commitment or a contract. This can represent a contract. Someone was contracted, or there's an energy of a couple. This could be the beginning of this partnership that I talked about. Remember? We said there was a partnership. We got spies and lies. So there's an energy of finding someone who's willing to do the dirty work. That is where spies and lies kicks in with the lovers here and the page of cups. See, there's an energy of now it's going to be, this is the element of surprise. Do you see that page of cups represents someone who's being surprised by a situation? They're not expecting this. Another element of surprise, the fact that it is this particular couple that is part of this plan. So y'all, this web is going pretty deep here, if you know what I mean. So let's now look at the doers. Okay. When did those who committed or actually did this crime make their decision? All right, let's go ahead and look at the collective oracle box here. See what it says. See what it says. When did the doers make their decision? Uh-oh, we got a red card. And it's in the reverse. It says skating on thin ice. And this is in the reverse. So if you think about it, skating on thin ice, when is the ice going to be thin? When it's thawing out. When is the ice thawing out? In the spring. March. As March is an indication. And if you think about January, more likely, because you think about where in the part of the country it's located and how temperatures, may not be as low certain months as they would in other locations. So you have to think about that. So something about ice thawing out. This could indicate spring. So maybe in the first quarter of the year following whenever these people made their decision, maybe it was later. Okay. Maybe they didn't reach out to these doers until the very last minute, because if I were wise, if I were planning something and wanting to involve someone else as a patsy, I definitely don't want them to know way when I make the first decision to go through with it. Like, no, it's too much time that I could potentially be exposed, right? Too much time that this plan could be thwarted because you told or involved too many people. No, you're going to wait until the last minute, right? To get others involved, because you're going to limit your risk or liability for not being able to carry through. I'm just saying. Let's see, what else do we have? When did the doers of this crime make their decision? Another red card, y'all. Literally just felt around and I pulled this one out. Also in the reverse, oh my God, y'all. Look at what it says. Caught in the act. And this is in the reverse. This is all about getting away with something. Not caught in the act. So obviously they made the decision just prior, I feel. And like I said, this person doesn't want to be caught in the act. Okay. So again, skating on thin ice in the reverse. It's like, and also that's giving me spring. Spring is giving me surprise. Like you're going to spring up on me. Just spring this on someone. That is exactly what's happening here. And this is by design. This is by design of the planner, who is obviously a master planner, master manipulator, should I say. And I want to keep using positive words for a negative energy. You see what I mean? I'm just not. Not when it comes to Nancy. Not when it comes to this. Okay? So, one more, because that was just too uncanny that those two cards came out. So let's see what else Spirit has for us here. Tell us about these doers. When did they commit to this crime? When did they make their decision? Okay. In the reverse, look, the grass is not greener in the reverse, y'all. So you think of someone who thinks that the grass is greener. It's typically at the tail end of a relationship, right? That you've been involved with for some time. Or it could be, shortly after, but I feel like there's energy of things being in motion for some time now. The grass is not greener in the reverse. These people think that the grass is greener. They think that everything is just all perfectly lined up. And they also feel comfortable. If you think about it, you think about somebody who thinks that the grass is greener on the other side. Don't they usually act very casual, very laid back, like they don't have a care in the world? Very, very, very comfortable in their skin, right? Whatever it is that they're doing. So very confident, but I feel like not in a deserving way, but in a very narcissistic way. Okay. So yeah, they thought from the very beginning that they were going to get away with this thing. Once they found out about it, but they didn't find out about it until right before the deed needed to be done. They weren't approached with this. The doers weren't approached with their task. They weren't given their task until when it was necessary, right? Because they didn't plan this. This wasn't their thing. But they did like the idea of what would come with it, which would be that money. They thought that it'd be all good getting all of this money that they have been promised. How are you going to spend it with people watching? How are you going to explain that? So let's see. I'm going to fan this out with the heavier decks. I'm going to fan them out so I don't have to hold them. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Let's fan it out a little more. Okay. Oh, jacket. Oh, wow. Wow, they are jacket. They are clowns for this. This is an energy of they don't even have a clue as to anything. They're just jumping into the ring like they're told, you know what I mean? Like a circus clown. They don't even know what's happening, right? They haven't even rehearsed. They look, you know how clowns look when they jump out into the ring? At the circus, it looks very disheveled. It's not like it's a planned thing. They look kind of, you know, dorky, kind of like, yeah, fly by, you know, the moment. You know what I mean? That is this energy of these people jumping into this situation. They were just circus patsies, circus clowns. You know what I mean? And look at this. See? Look at this. They were just clowns that were meant to carry this thing out and keep this a secret. That is it. That was their only job. Okay? There was their only job was to succeed in being a circus clown, a patsy, and keeping this secret. Let's see what else we get. Psycho. Oh my gosh, look at this. Crazy ex obsessed, won't let go. Yeah, they were obsessed with getting this reward for participating in this heinous, heinous act. Oh wow! How come the bottom of the deck is not even this deck? It's a different deck mixed in. I have one of my What's the Vibe cards mixed in with my True Emotional cards. So look, isolation. It's isolation. Now, what's at the bottom of this deck here? Karmic lesson. Folks, rejected, left alone, self-inflicted. Karmic lesson. They are about to learn, or they have learned, a very, very ugly lesson. I feel like those that reached out or contracted them to do this left them in the cold. Ghosted them. Left them hanging. Look at this. I can't make this up. Cope. And then we have wish coming in. See? The wish fulfillment card. See? They left them to cope with this wish fulfillment of receiving whatever this promise end was. And we have family here. Look at this. The fact that they're family, it's almost like they have been bamboozled, because to come out and admit that this person left them hanging is to admit that they committed a crime. So it basically nullifies, who are they going to go and tell? The police that they didn't, these planners didn't hold up their end of the bargain? Because that's what I'm getting here. That's what I've been getting. That, and I'm not the only person that has come up with that theory. There have been a couple of others, multiples, but a couple that I have seen personally. Yeah. Same deal. By the way, if you get a chance, please go check out Lady Zelda. She's amazing. She is amazing. Lady Zelda Kelly. She is amazing, amazing tarot reader. And she has really, really focused on the Nancy Guthrie case like no other. And her readings are awesome. Also, Shay Pila is another tarot reader. She is not read on Nancy Guthrie that I know of. I don't think she does true crime tarot, but she is an amazing tarot reader overall. So those are the two readers that I do have time to listen to these days. I've been developing my channel, so I just don't have time to really do much. But I've been learning a lot from the two of them, and they are earth angels. They are absolutely beautiful, beautiful people. I definitely would trust them with any reading. Okay. So yeah, just thought I would give them a shout out because they're so amazing. Those ladies, I've learned so much from them. I really, really have. And Lady Zelda she sounds and reminds me of my grandmother. She sounds just like my grandmother. Her voice, when she sings, when she talks, she's just, and my grandmother was such a beautiful person, is a beautiful ancestor. Absolutely. An earth angel, for sure she was. She was just an angel trapped on earth. That's what I like to say for my grandmother, because that woman. All right. Beautiful person. Okay, so let's see what the tarot messages say real quick. So we have the Tower. Okay, this is all about some sort of a sudden impending doom, basically. Okay, some sort of disaster, some sort of a also sudden change, right? In impending disaster, upheaval, sudden change, all of a sudden. Yeah, this happened at the last minute. This was a last minute request. We have the Eight of Swords. I feel like all they were asked to do is to get her, collect her, bind her, and bring her to this location, and we'll do the rest. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to, all you have to do is go and be prepared to collect this money. But I feel like something went wrong with the Tower and the Eight of Swords. This is all about something going way left. This is sudden change during a situation that started off as a kidnapping. It started off that it was just supposed to be a kidnapping. Now, in my previous couple readings that I did when I did the five senses, I feel like there was an argument. I feel like Nancy literally heard the situation going left. She heard things going down. And I feel like that caused some sort of a medical episode that they weren't ready for. Let's see what else we got here, and then we will look under the deck. We have the King of Pentacles. Okay, the King of Pentacles. That's that card that talks about money. Okay, being financially stable, right? Or really being concerned with your finances. Okay. So someone, and this also is that same King of Pentacles that keeps coming up every time we ask about these people. So under the deck, the Two of Cups. See, a married couple. I can't right now. Again, and again. Every time we talk about those who actually physically went to Nancy's house, there is a couple. We have it again with the Two of Cups. Oh, what's behind it? Well, what do you know? The Five of Pentacles. This is all about being pretty much some sort of a couple that is abandoning someone, or someone being afraid, but there's an energy of abandoning, a couple that is abandoning or being left out in the cold in a situation. With the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. This was a job. This was for money. This was a very selfish act that was done in secret, and this was all to deceive or to get something, but it was again a big major secret and deception of the ugliest and worst heinous type. So let's move on because I'm frustrated now. When slash if Nancy lost her connection to this side, did she actually transition before or after she left the house? Before or after she left the house? I'm going to look at this deck and see what comes. See what we get here. When, if Nancy lost her connection to this side, did she actually transition? When was the actual transition? Before or after leaving the actual house? Before or after leaving the actual house? Okay, it's just easier, guys. So let me pull. It doesn't change the energy, as you can see. It does not change anything. There's a will, there's a way. So we have spiritual work. Look at this, y'all. I can't make this up. First card out. What does it say? Open your heart to a spiritual career and heal the human heart. Y'all, why does it have to say that twice? Y'all, you are a light worker, is what it says. I feel open your heart to a spiritual career and heal the human heart. Spiritual work. You are a light worker. Again, I'm just feeling that there was some sort of a spiritual release. I feel that this was like grace. Okay. I keep getting and seeing this, that her transition was very merciful. And I feel like it was, she left her body prior to any violation, any physical violation. Does that make sense? If not, let me know. Just be mindful in the comments and don't name names, you guys. Don't name names if you do comment on this case. You can do initials, that's fine. We have love affair. Love affair. Beware. Love affairs at work rarely end well. And it says and, but it's supposed to say and, y'all. I'm constantly finding typos in every one of my decks. It's so crazy. But that's just me. I'm an editor at heart. Okay, don't lose your mind. So again, I feel that the situation, when she came to some sort of realization, because I believe there was some sort of recognition, is what I'm going to say, of those who were in her home. This affected her heart because of the recognition that she made. And I feel that because of the connection, because of the couple, because of who it was, she began to instantly go into panic mode. And I feel that she was taken away. I feel that it was anxiety related to her condition, her heart condition. It even says heart multiple times here. Again, love affair, this couple, a lot going on. And I feel like this, it says it rarely ends well. This didn't end well. Okay. Love affairs at work rarely end well. This particular love affair, this commitment, and being at work for the sake of money, basically, is what I'm saying, or getting here. It, this can't be a good thing, basically, is what it's saying. Authority. And you know what? I feel that God, God has the authority to life and death. No one but Him. Okay? You can't get to the Father. What does it say? But by me. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. And He is the representation of the cross. And the cross is a representation of that burden or wage of sin that we all have to carry, which is what? Death. Okay? So only if God ordains it or gives some sort of an authority will it happen, is what I'm saying. And I feel that there was a spiritual love affair that God had with Nancy, that the angels had with Nancy, with the elderly, with a mother. Oh, Jesus. And gave her grace. And there was some sort of a spiritual authority. Okay. And I feel that she was given grace to separate from this dimension. And she took that. She took that. And that was grace based on a lot of the heinous things that happened to our elderly and just people in general. Under the deck, y'all, this is not easy. Gift. See, what did I tell you? Y'all, this is so beautiful. It almost makes me want to cry. I'm not going to get emotional, but I definitely am really, really right there, y'all. Especially on today, y'all. Y'all just don't know. Let me not even get into it because I will get emotional. Not because today is a specific day, but just because I'm, how I am. I'm a grandmother, okay? And a mother. So just burns me up to think of what someone did to this lady, period, point blank. I don't care what you didn't like about her. I don't care what you may not have gotten growing up. I don't care, whatever the case may be, not alleging anyone, but just saying. To think that even if it wasn't, but to think that if it was a loved one, like for really, this is the route that you took and had to take. Okay. Oh my God. Y'all, look. Gift and surprise was right underneath it. I cannot. Y'all, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And then we have transformation. This was a gift from the Father. This was a transformation, but a spiritual transformation. She may have prayed, God, please take, you know what I mean? She may have said a prayer in that moment and God answered it. It says fast changes. Y'all, I love you. God, I love you so much. And He will definitely answer our prayers. He will definitely take away what we can't bear. And Nancy couldn't bear this. She couldn't. Her little heart couldn't bear this. Her body couldn't bear this. This was evil. This was absolutely heinous and evil. It makes me sick. It makes me so sick to my stomach to think about this. So I'm just going to move on and we're going to look at the tarot messages because if I don't, I will not finish this reading. Sorry, guys. Whew. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my God. And I saw that before. That there was some sort of a grace, some sort of Archangel Michael came out Everything was happening at that moment because I asked that question, like, what did she feel just before things went left? And Archangel Michael came out. Oh my God, I just want to cry. I'm going to end this reading in just one moment. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. But I can't. I have to ground. We have the Empress here, y'all. Whew, Lord have mercy. That's Nancy. Divine Feminine. Attracted to others. Nurturer. Lord, help me through this reading. And we have the King of Wands. So this talks about seeing things before they happen, or knowing ahead of time, or thinking ahead, planning ahead, basically. And we have this Empress here who's planning ahead. So basically telling God, or asking God to please spare her. Whatever it is their plans are, let their plans be foiled. You know what I mean? And God spared her. Let's see what else we get here. Whew, Three of Pentacles. So again, spiritual work. This is it. Archangel Michael. This is it. Literally. She had help from the spiritual realm. Came in to provide assistance to her in her moment of desperation. This talks about a group effort, the team coming and working together. And we got spiritual work, y'all. That is just too much. With authority, that is just way heavy for me, y'all. So let me go ahead and we're going to end this. We'll ask the bonus questions in the next reading, y'all. I promise. I'm sorry. Under the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Yeah. This is all about a new opportunity. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This also talks about manifestation. And she had a very powerful frequency that night. She could have asked for a golden hen, I'm sure, and it probably would have arrived or showed up, because the energy was in her favor. She asked for mercy, and she received it. Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Six of Wands. This is all about victory. A new opportunity, and then victory. Praise. Instant praise. Instant victory. Instant. Sudden changes. Transformation. Again, transformation and fast changes, y'all. And we got the freaking Wheel of Fortune. Like, I can't. She was blessed with a quick. It was quick. Let's just say that. It was quick. We have the Six of Pentacles. Again, this is all about giving and receiving. This was a gift. This was a gift. Wow, y'all. That was so heavy. I can't get to the last couple questions, and that's okay. We'll do it in the next reading. I love you guys so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I love you, and I'll see you on the next conspiracy. Take care. Bye.